Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Paranormal Properties. In this week's episode we take a look at the Monte Cristo Homestead in New South Wales, Australia. Now, the historic Monte Cristo Homestead is regarded as one of the most haunted locations in Australia. Perhaps the most haunted Australian location for paranormal. Now, it is believed that a witch cursed the building. I believe it was something to do with the land. She wanted it for something else, and then she cursed the building. Well, due to the amount of tragic deaths and events that happened there, I can pretty much believe it myself. But you got to look at the building itself. Gorgeous building, really nice, really old, the sort of building sort of house building I'd love to live in. It's just so nice to look at, but it's such a shame of the many events that happened there. Basically, it was finished in 1885. It started in 1948. The first family that owned it was the Crawley family. They owned it and lived in it. During that time, the family witnessed many deaths, such as a small child who was dropped or pushed down the stairs, died instantly. There was a maid, she fell from a balcony from the outside, died instantly. And a young stable boy who was actually burned inside the building to death, died again instantly. But the most shocking thing, there was a mentally ill child who was found 40 years later still alive next to his dead mother. Now, the child was actually chained up in a small cottage near to the Monte Cristo. I believe it was on the land that they had built. I think they had little cottages for the maids, the stable boy, the caretakers, people who helped clean and keep the Monte Cristo afloat, clean. But the most strange thing from that property is they found the guy 40 years later in the caretaker's cottage next to his dead mother's body, chained up. I don't know who chained him up. I don't know why they chained him up. Well, I can understand that he has mental issues at the time. But chaining him up is a bit drastic for my liking, but it was the way they ran the place, I suppose. But yeah, he died as well. They put him in a mental home. Whoever found him died when they got there instantly. So there is one thing to learn from this, which is do not piss off a witch. But yeah, this building is pretty much cursed. For the Crawley family at least. I believe a couple of caretakers and maids own parts of the property now, but don't actually live in it for good reason. But if anybody else knows anything on this, then obviously let me know. But yeah, there's been a couple of paranormal groups that have been there, tried to stay the night, and not succeeded whatsoever. As you can see from this picture, there is an apparition outside, which is pretty cool, I suppose. But yeah, this is definitely a building to avoid. So many deaths. It's crazy. But yeah, the interior is nice. The outside is nice. It is a nice building, a very nice building. But I wouldn't recommend staying the night. I wouldn't mind an actual, just a tour of it, but I would never stay the night at all. So many deaths, so much tragedy. Very, very paranormally active. From what I've read, there's been, voices. There's been, footsteps. There's been objects thrown, objects moved, things seen in mirrors, in windows, things outside. So yeah, this is a creepy building, and definitely not one to be staying overnight in anyway. But thank you very much for watching this episode, everyone. If you're watching on YouTube, then obviously give us a like, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube, and like us on Facebook. But yeah, that's this week's episode of that anyway. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please stay tuned. There is a hell of a lot more things that I'm going to be adding, more episodes of new things, new content every time. So I want this to be a very successful, little channel and stuff like that. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do appreciate it. I really do. But yeah, stay tuned for more, everyone. More to come.